welcome to another edition of Sports Editions from Up and Level Productions. It's your boy Fabito, along with the Black Obi-Wan and Hype Man OV, where we bring you our takes in sports and we don't have to make it a comeback. Let's start it off with the first round crow that we have to give to Matt right now.
You can never give me the first round crow. Lakers at 7, even when they lose.
Lakers at 7. First it was Lakers at 5, but then went to Lakers at 7.
Lakers at 7.
What happened, man? Real quick.
I thought we were not going to break that.
Yeah, we can break it down. We can break it down because, you know, he likes to break it down.
You got
30 seconds. What we talked about before that. Lakers had no big. I ain't gonna lie. I went to sleep because I was so tired. When I woke up and I thought my ESPN app was going crazy. I was like 24 points, 27 rebounds. I was like, damn. JJ Redick didn't want to win that game. He definitely started Dorian Finney-Smith. White flag was thrown. You had no big. You knew this was your issue. I can't see that other than you wanted to lose that game because, like, what else? Why would you not start Jackson Hayes? Give your team a chance. You saw the Dorian Finney-Smith, they had no chance.
30 seconds.
Rudy Gobert was the conversation everybody's having with the 100-man versus the gorilla. That night with Rudy Gobert, he was the gorilla.
Don't disrespect the gorilla.
Again, did you see his stats?
Don't disrespect the gorilla.
Check out Rudy Gobert's stats that night compared to his career. Then you see why I'm calling him the gorilla. I ain't saying gorilla that night. I ain't saying gorilla for his career. So, but I expected it because I said this trade was for the future. I thought they took a step back when they released Anthony Davis. So it is what it is. And I just think that we're better off for it. So let's move along.
All right. So now with the first round of the NBA playoffs are done, the second round series have gone on the way. We're going to start off with Cleveland and Indiana. Pacers take game 1 of the series. Now, keep in mind, when we shoot this episode, it's on Tuesday night. Wednesday, we drop it. So a lot of things are changing. The Cavs are playing tonight, Tuesday night. So
right now.
But for the series in itself, are the Pacers the Cavaliers' kryptonite?
I can't say the kryptonite. You still got to see what, you know, the Cavs still got a superstar in Donovan Mitchell, good players in Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. The Pacers just match up really well. They're like seeing them play. I'm like, yo, they're almost as big as the Cavs. In some ways, in some sense, they're bigger than the Cavs. They got Miles Turner. You got Pascal Siakam. They got the double big, just like Cleveland with the Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. They match up really, really well, and this could go long. But I mean, because Cleveland has been a good team all around, I got Cleveland coming out just because they've been the solid team all year round. But this could go the distance.
I'm gonna start with Cleveland first. Cleveland lost home field advantage, so that's already sucked for them. But I also see it as that they had a rest. You know what I'm saying? Because they swept the Miami Heat, and Indiana just came off a series with the Milwaukee Bucks. So so they're coming in hotter. Rather, Cleveland is kind of cold. So I looked at it like that, like that. So let's see how Cleveland responds in game 2 if they pick up their energy. We got to watch out for injuries as far as Garland and
Mobley
Hunter. So we got to see how that works out tonight. I think that tonight do play. So let's see. As far as Indiana, I think they're playing with a chip on the shoulder, especially Halliburton, because I think that he took it personal.
Underrated player?
Being voted overrated player?
Overrated player.
Does he look like an overrated player?
Overrated player, sorry.
Does he look like an overrated player? So he took yeah, but well,
I don't know. I always found that very funny because I never he's not playing well. I don't understand how.
To be honest, I think it's stupid. I think that's one of the most stupidest things that players could vote for.
Yeah, as a hate, and I don't like that.
But you just gave fuel.
Yeah,
you just gave bulletin board to this guy,
and now he's not looking like.
So now he's out there busting ass. So I look at him playing with a chip on. So like I said, let's see what happens how Cleveland responds for game 2 because I did see them coming out. I have them coming out slow because of the rest. So, but it's not like they were like being dominated. Either. So let's see what happens game 2 with the response.
I like that. I didn't see. I like that. So Cleveland with the resting. I didn't think about that. That was nice.
Oh, right. That's gonna be with the West. You'll see.
Moving on to the New York versus Boston.
Can I go first?
After a stunning come from behind win against the defending champs, can the New York Knicks finally get out of the second round?
Before the playoffs started, remember everybody was like, "Oh, they 0-17, whatever against Cleveland and Boston and OKC." Who was the one guy that was like, I bet you they're going to win these teams in the playoffs? I was that guy. Yeah, they were down by 20 in the third quarter. I was like this. But when Boston kept shooting their threes and the Knicks kept storming back and Boston didn't make no adjustment and Knicks won that game, I was like, yeah, this is it. And that's the Mikal Bridges I saw from the Phoenix Suns, not from the Brooklyn Nets. So this is playoffs. I feel that when these guys are stepping up, they're playing with the grit that we always missing this whole season. They probably just, said, what, let's just play, But then come playoff time, we turned it up, and that's what they did. So I expect them to win this series. I'm the only one who said it. I'm saying.
Listen, I have been shouting the alarm to all my Celtics fans all this year about all your team. When it gets down to it, they will live and die by a 3-pointer that they don't have to continue to shoot. And we said it multiple times. We've seen it multiple times, and habits form. You have a habit of doing it in the regular season. You will have a habit of doing it in the playoffs. And that is what happens. The Celtics had a habit of shooting threes and nothing but threes. And Jason Tatum, superstar, I'm going to settle for a 3-point shot instead of letting my, who's that center? The center on the Knicks? The big, oh man.
Cat or
no,
Robinson?
not Cat. Is Robinson?
Robinson.
You letting Robinson off the hook by not dry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you letting Robinson chill. To me, like, Jason Tatum should have took over that game. He did not, which is why I feel like the Celtics are going to lose, because when it's time to, he does not take that next step and become who he needs to be.
Let's see what happened with Porzingis, because he did not come out for the second half of the game.
I think he's ruled out for the next game too.
So, well, they haven't said what it was, because from what I last time I heard, it was like a virus or illness. So that's what you said when you said game out. I was like, I didn't hear anything as far as injury, but he's dealing with an illness. So I expect him to be ready for next game. But let's see what happens. But he did not play the second half of the game.
So, well, with the Knicks, I think they have a chance. They keep playing the defense that they've been playing in this series, and
keep it close. As I said, keep it close, and then let Brunson do what he needs to do in the fourth.
Because the thing with Boston is they live and die by threes. Now it's all like, again, they have the record now: 63s, 45 missed. That's the record.
Yeah, man.
Now they could be one night 45 missed,
and the next night 45 made.
45 made. They can flip it.
Quick comment though about that. Which one was worse? Boston doing that, or the Rockets with James Harden with the? You thought that was worse?
The Rockets, because the Rockets all year,
even though it was 27,
all year the Rockets were, this is the team that's going to beat them. This is the team that's going to beat them. This is the team that's going to beat them. And I'm like,
they come game 7 of that. Yeah.
And come game 7. Matter of fact,
that happened in game 7. I think you're right.
I know we finished talking about the first round, but there's another first round thing I want to talk about. We talk about this, and that is.
Well, yeah, I just want to see what y'all opinion about that, because I know that was ugly, but that was game 1 compared to
game 1 compared to game 7. But it's like in my head, it's like, oh, they missed 6. I told my friend, we were sitting at Lucky's bar. I was like, yo, the Celtics can shoot this stuff out the game. He was like, nah, I'm telling you, they could go a third quarter and miss every 3-point shot, and then they come back.
The second half, they were like 6.
Shout out to OG Anunoby,
like, the coach,
for stepping up, and shout out for Mikal Bridges for what he said, that Phoenix play. That wasn't a Brooklyn Nets play. That was like Phoenix defense where he was butt all game and came out the floor.
He was worth 2 of those 5 games.
He was worth some of them draft picks. He was worth some of them draft picks.
It's cashing out.
And this is really what the Mikal Bridges you actually need. Like, this is what you really, really want. This is the one you really traded for. Not the Brooklyn. I know the Brooklyn Nets one. You traded for this one. Trust. Trust.
Well, let us know. That was the Eastern Conference side of the playoffs. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Let us know what's going on in the comment section. All right. So now, Denver versus OKC. Last night, I said it from the beginning. I said it since All-Star game.
Well,
I do not see OKC coming out of the second round of any playoff round. No matter who they came against.
Let me come out first on this one. Go ahead.
But Denver won game 1 after a last-second buzzer beater from Aaron Glenn. Would I be proven right?
Matt, I'm sorry, Matt, but we said in the beginning of the show that you're going to have to eat crow for this one. Matt, am I right? But he was a Denver Nugget hater, right? Because every time we kept bringing up the Denver Nuggets, this dude would just bash them. We would say they hovered around the 2nd, 3rd, 4th seed team. It was like they're going to be in the mix. He put them as a play-in. Like, that's how
I had never put them as a play-in.
Yeah, you did. We can go back on the tape. You had them going into a play-in, like, and we was looking at you like, damn, you disrespect the Nuggets like that. And we kept looking at you weird when you kept bashing the Nuggets. And here they are. Like, yeah, they won 7 games with the Clippers. Even though I was the one that said, Clippers in 7. It wasn't like I was saying Clippers in 7. But I was looking at, the reason why I said Clippers in 7 is because they were coming out hot. Kawhi Leonard was healthy. But hey, the Denver Nuggets do what they did, what they've been doing all season. They're a 2nd, 3rd to a 4th round seed team. They do what they have a championship core, which I've been saying for quite a while. They came into OKC. Now, OKC is the problem where I want to go back with OKC is just like with the Cleveland. You guys had a long rest. You're playing a Denver team that literally just finished playing the other day. So that's why I'm going to sit there and say, yeah, you lost home court advantage, same thing for Cleveland. But I'm going to look at it just like the Cleveland situation. It's not like you got blown out. You only lost by Aaron Gordon 3. So I expect OKC to come out with more energy game 2 because now you've been playing, you get that rhythm back. That's how I see it. But about the Denver Nuggets, I don't sleep on them. Thurman was never sleeping on them. You were sleeping on them.
And I'm still sleeping on them.
Huh?
And I'm still sleeping on the Denver Nuggets. And I'm still sleeping on the Denver Nuggets that won a couple of these games by Aaron Gordon. Good luck. And Aaron Gordon, good luck. Yes, I'm still sleeping on the Denver Nuggets.
That he was open.
Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon has hit 2 game-winning.
They're in the second round. They're in the second round.
Right? They're in the second round. Escaping a 7-game series to a very, very good Clippers team. But again, we're a game 1. Like that OKC team, they didn't like they had flaws. They didn't like they struggled. They were scoring. They were fine.
And this is a team
they didn't seem to struggle at all against scoring the Denver Nuggets. You know who struggled to score? The Denver Nuggets, which is why it looked crazy he hit that game winner. They were struggling. OKC was cruising past. Nuggets had to find themselves and then come back to win this game. So yes, still sleeping on the Nuggets.
But all right, so
still sleeping on the Nuggets.
If it was anybody else, I'm still picking the field against OKC in the second round.
Yeah, okay.
The thing is like I feel like they have the right pieces. They just don't.
They still got a championship called the Denver Nuggets. They still got.
I'm talking about
OKC.
OKC.
Oh,
I think they're young. They still got hurdles to climb, and I just think this is one of those obstacles that they're not going to be able to go over. Okay. Am I saying this? I think this is going Game 7. I think this is going Game 7, and I think Denver took out the home field advantage. So. From OKC. So who knows? But again, like, comment, subscribe. Moving on to Minnesota Golden State. Now, can Ant-Man knock out another legend? And Steph Curry on his knock out the legend tour.
You want to go first? Because I got a little deep detail about these two teams. I know they're not your favorites, but
I mean, if one of them loses, I'll be happy. I think the Timberwolves take this just simply because of
I'm surprised.
I just watched the 7-game series with Houston that had no score, and they took Golden State 7. And now we're about to go to a 6 with an actual scorer. Houston had no score. There was nobody who could give me the ball, go get us some points. Now I got one with Anthony Edwards, and not only that, his team is larger than the Golden State Warriors. They struggled against that Houston team because of size, and now I got a bigger team coming in.
Just to let you know, before we finish, Golden State is 3-1 in the season against Minnesota.
And that's the thing, like
we're not going to talk about regular seasons now.
You can't compare Houston because Houston D's up.
We knew they had no offense.
We knew they had no offense.
Their defense, but they had a top 5 defense. That's why
that defense got.
That's what I'm saying. You forgot about defense.
And the Minnesota Timberwolves,
you constantly sleep on, man.
Are a good defensive team. Am I saying something crazy?
Man, you sleep on defense.
Did I just say the Minnesota team? Did I say they were bad defense?
They're good defense.
Right. And now I have a good defensive team. And now it's not the defense I'm talking about. It's like they had a good defense. They had a good defense and no score and still took them 7. Now I have a good defense and a scorer. I do think that, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the Minnesota Timberwolves are a good defensive team, and now I got one person I can give the ball to. Go ahead.
Look, I'm surprised you're going for Minnesota because I noticed a lot of LeBron James fans, especially they all going for the Warriors because Minnesota took you out. So
Minnesota go take out Golden State Warriors.
Let me tell you why it's hard for me to pick this series because I have both personal interests in both teams. Let me start with the Warriors. The reason why I want the Warriors to personally win is because if Steph Curry wins, and I already have him that way, but making him in 5th championship will solidify him being the best NBA champion in this generation, in a generation where everybody was ring chasing, started by you know who. So the fact that he was winning championship with one team, and one team has been in the finals to the last 2 decades. If he wins his 5th one, that's it. Like, this is the best NBA player in this era, hands down. Period. Now, as far as I want Ant-Man to go, it's because he's the new generation. So if he goes on and win an NBA championship, taking out, starting off last year, KD, Booker, the Denver Nuggets with Jokic and Murray, and now he just took off 2, which he considers the 2 top players in his list, LeBron and Luka on the same team, and now he's getting ready to play the Warriors. If they take the Warriors out and they go on to beat let's say the Denver OKC in the Western Conference and win the NBA championship, this would put Anthony Edwards on the map as far as being the new face of the league, the new king of the league. So that's my personal interest. Who would win? The fact that I got personal interest in both teams, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Timberwolves because of the future. Curry's already a champion. Now, if Curry wins one more, this generation is over. It belongs to Curry. But for the future, I would like Anthony Edwards to win the championship. So I'm picking Anthony Edwards to win. And
pretty interesting.
I'm going to pick them 7 games because before Jimmy Butler, before Jimmy Butler came, Golden State was 3-1 in the season against Minnesota, just to let you know that, before Jimmy Butler came.
There's a little context, though, I got to give. During that time, Minnesota was up and down. So they won their last 12 out of 14 games going into the playoffs. So that's when Julius Randle started. So they came in hot. But like I said, Golden State did beat them 3-1 in the series before Jimmy Butler. But
so they're going to be playing Jimmy Butler in this series.
Man, we cannot use. But we just said. You just said actually that the Celtics. Everybody say with the Knicks was 0-17 in the regular season.
I just
but
used
that's
it.
right. Now you can't just go back and say,
that doesn't make any sense. They were also, I did use it. I did.
You said after why it didn't matter.
No, I didn't say it didn't matter. I never said that. I said I started off because that's the facts. They were 0-17 to these, and I said they was going to win. I never said because it didn't matter. I just said out of a hot take for me, and it wound up being true. But it does matter because they were 0-17 with these top teams. So when you go in before this game 1 was picked, who did Hollywood or Vegas had win the series? Boston, because you go with that Knicks never beat them in the season. So yes, it does matter. I never said it doesn't. I just you just misconstrued my definition of it for something.
The Minnesota Timberwolves
but it does matter.
Are hot.
Yes,
they are hot going into the playoffs, and they're hot in the playoffs.
They're 12-14.
They have
before going to the playoffs.
They have multiple bigs. They are larger. They are faster than the Golden State Warriors, who just struggled against a defensive, no offensive team like the Houston Rockets. Now you're giving a good defensive team and a better offensive team with Ant Edwards, Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, and those boys. I have the Minnesota Timberwolves beating them in 6.
Who do you guys got? Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we know what's going on. You know when the next video comes up. Before we go to trivia, you say you had a first round thing. Make it quick. 30 seconds.
Oh, James Harden. I can't be 30 seconds. It needs to be a rant. At this point, like, we're going to call the spade a spade. He sucks in the playoffs. Like, the Game 7 record actually is crazy. Yeah. The game, he's putting a at some point,
I was still expecting them to win.
I wasn't. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's why I wasn't.
I was surprised because
I knew I would fuck it up.
I was surprised because it was like, oh no, he's playing well these first. And then it's like, wow, you really do live up to this. Like you really don't. You're really not that guy. That's crazy. That's insane. Been going on since OKC. That's insane, dog. That's insane, dog. When he was a 6-man on OKC, he would come in and then it was just throwing up bricks.
He won a 6-man.
And then
I get it, but in the playoffs, he was throwing up bricks.
And then we going back to that. Then we going back to that 47 miss. And that's when I saw that. The first thing I was thinking was Houston right. Oh, like James Harden. And then to see James Harden get bounced again, I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Like I honestly thought Kawhi Leonard might have, because the way that the
what's funny? I got bashed last week comparing James Harden to Luka Doncic. They're both great 3-point shooters, but play no defense. So it's like I don't see no difference. I ain't see nothing different from them and what they lost.
I think they don't play no defense like Houston's, but Luka has had offense in the playoffs where James Harden has come up nothing. That's the difference. Like, and you are right with the defensive, they don't play none. But when it comes to offense, Luka has shown his ability to score in the playoffs.
Real quick, Thurman, because Thurman could vouch for me for this. Thurman, how long were you knowing each other? I think since we was like 13, 14 years old, maybe a little bit younger. That's how long I know Thurman. Thurman, how many tournaments and basketball games we played and went to?
Quite a few.
If you play, let me tell you right now, I don't care how much of a great offense you have. If you play no defense, you're effing off my team, because that's what wins games. Golden State Warriors, let me give you an example. We're before Kevin Durant and drawing Kevin Durant. Because you think, they're blowing teams out. Why? Because they were a top 5 defense. Their defense predicated their offense. Right. So defense was wins you games.
But does everybody on the team need to play defense?
Yes.
So
that's why they were
is that true of NBA teams?
It's not one.
Is that true of NBA and championship teams today?
Yes.
Does everybody on the team play defense, or does somebody on the team play offense? Because Jalen Brunson is not. You're not thinking of Jalen Brunson go out there and stop somebody.
But who won last year with the great defense?
You're not telling Jalen Brunson to go out there and stop nobody. That's what McCall's there for. That's what Josh Hart's there for. That's what Carl Anthony Towns. There are players on the team who play defense that allow that offensive player to shine because we'll keep pick up the slack and play defense. Am I bugging?
Every team that won NBA champions has been top 5.
At the end of the day, it's all about matchups, and that's what the NBA playoffs have always been about.
That's playoffs.
Again, we got our differences here, and we're gonna be here all day. But we gotta have time constraints and NBA trivia time.
Hype Man's trivia now because we're gonna be switching it up because NBA is gonna be coming to a close. And we're going to be moving sports pretty soon to baseball and football. So
that's your opening.
I swear, I was just about to say that was your opening.
That was my opening.
Oh, no, okay,
going.
Good.
I mean, bro,
you know we're going to kill it immediately. So let's know.
You took 10 seconds away from me, so let's go into the questions. Shit, I was talking about.
I don't want to do it.
Look, Hype Man's trivia. Man,
he started explaining that.
And
this is the intro, brother.
You say NBA trivia, I say I'm only explaining that hey, we're gonna be changing the name. I wrote it up here. Man, killing me.
Give us one.
Yeah, let's go. Question number 1, guys. Ready? This is who is the first non-American to win MVP? Non-American to win MVP. Tim Duncan is American.
No, he's not.
He's not.
I think you're confusing with Manu Ginobili and.
No, Tim Duncan.
Oh yeah, he's from Chris St. Croix. Yeah, St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, something like that.
Tim Duncan.
No. Hakeem Olajuwon.
How about you?
That's my final answer.
To win what again?
MVP. The first non-American to win MVP. I'm going way back.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's one of them. I feel like Olajuwon.
But number 1 answer is Hakeem Olajuwon in 1984. He was the first non-American to win.
My first answer would have been Duncan too, though.
Now this is for question number 2, going back from last week. 8 NBA teams with animals in their logo. Can you name those 8 NBA teams?
Raptors.
Wait.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Wait.
Because we can rattle them all. I'm about to rattle them all. I'm about to rattle them all. Memphis Grizzlies. I said that.
Grizzlies is 1.
Hornets.
New Orleans Pelicans.
Wait. You guys are going too fast. Okay, so Grizzlies is 1. Hornets is another. That's 2. Pelicans is 3.
Raptors
is it's
an animal.
It's a dinosaur, I guess. Okay,
it's
4.
An animal.
They don't have it on the list, but again.
Oh, damn.
It's an animal.
It's Houston teams, right? One of the Texas teams gotta have something.
No.
LA teams. No. It's an East Coast team.
I need a pen.
Atlanta Hawks.
You said Atlanta Hawks. Yeah. So you said Grizzlies. You said Pelicans. You said Hornets. You said Hawks.
How much was it?
You have 8. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2. I think I have 3, 4 left.
4 left.
You said Hawks, Grizzlies. You said Pelicans.
We said the Pelicans. We said the Hornets. We said the Wolves. Oh, he just mentioned the Wolves.
Yeah, the Timberwolves. Yeah, they're up on the list. So that's another. I'm gonna add the Raptors, but they didn't have it on the list. I think their logo is just a claw.
The Raptors logo?
Yeah, I think it's a claw.
Nah, because I have the one with the.
I think they took off that.
I got a jersey with it. Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
That's why I don't think. That's why I don't think on the list. There's a claw that goes scratched to the jersey. Yeah, the name, but I'm saying their logo. I don't think their logo is a dinosaur anymore.
Timberwolves, Grizzlies, Hornets, Hawks. It's a West Coast team. Utah, no, not Utah.
I said Timberwolves, Hawks, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Hornets. So you basically got 1, 2, 3 left.
3 teams left.
2 with a B and 1 with an M.
Mavericks.
Bulls,
Bulls, and 1 more. One more B.
Bulls.
One more B. B.
Yeah, no.
B.
B.
Come on, guys. It's an East Coast team. I'm giving y'all the answers so we can speed this up. It's an East Coast team, so it's a B. Come on, man. You know it.
Brooklyn.
Come on. You said Brooklyn. The fact that you said out loud. Like,
Bobcats.
No. Oh, my God. You guys are serious? We're going to move on. The answer is the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks. They're a deer. It's a deer. It's a deer.
I
said B.
Milwaukee. I'm thinking.
Animal. I'm going with the animal. B. Bucks.
Nah, when you said B, I thought you meant team. I thought you meant team.
Well, with the logo. Okay, so who am I, guys? This guy is currently still playing. He started off with the Hawks. then went to the Thunder, then went to the Lakers, then went to the Celtics, then went to the Rockets, then back to the Lakers, then to the Raptors, then to the Nets, then to the Warriors, and he's currently playing with the Pistons. Who am
Dennis
I?
Schroeder.
Yeah, sure.
Dennis Schroeder is that answer.
Ooh.
You know what? You know
I gave it away?
because I had to say
He's back to
the
Lakers.
the back-to-back Lakers. The back-to-back Lakers. I was like, who the fuck?
I felt like if I would have just named the team, he would have been like, I'm stuck. So that's why I say, let me. The next him was gonna say he's non-American too.
Alright,
French.
That was good.
Even though he's 0-3, he's
0-3.
got the best picks.
Listen, I still got the best picks, and right now I'm feeling Jalen Brunson, 30 points and assists, and Ant Edwards for 4 assists. Ant has been an amazing facilitator. He has been, I think, 5 assists in his last 4 games. He's been passing. So we got him for 4 this game. 2 picks. Let's ride out. Gamble responsibly.
All right, now for our question of the day. Cyrus sent this video to me early in the week. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
NFL does neutral site Super Bowls. And if you guys notice, I'm looking off the screen. I'm looking at my producer over here.
There was a
Should the MLB, NBA, and the NHL do the same suit as have neutral sites?
But it,
Again, generated another source of income. Make it more of an event.
I would say Major League Baseball is
I don't know
much
about
needed.
the NBA though.
NBA, no.
Yeah, I don't know if
NBA is because
I feel like a lot of those
I'll let you go
stadiums,
first.
they make so much money.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, a lot of those stadiums are depend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a team like the Lakers, like we dependent on the fact that the Lakers are gonna go far into the playoffs, so everybody else can, because stadiums still employ people, the insurance like that. Like people are still employed. Some teams still employ people going into the playoffs, and that's how certain states don't make their revenue off these basketball teams. So it's like moving it to a neutral site, you may be messing up a city who intended to have this basketball revenue for this time and put it on there. And these hotels who expected to have, and businesses who expected to have these people who have been in the playoffs, and these bars who expected to have these people who would have been in the playoffs there. Now they're moved to another site. Like, you may be given another place generated income for sure, but you might be taken out of a city, or like say you take it out of the Celtics who've been in the playoffs forever, and you take that revenue from them in their last game.
Point, but however, with the CBA, it's a shared revenue. So with that aspect, all that
will still go to
the league.
No, I'm not talking about the league. But I'm talking about
like the employees and stuff getting.
No, I'm talking about the things that generate. You ever been to a basketball? You know there are bars and stuff outside the arena. Those people will be losing revenue. That's what I'm saying.
What about the teams that never get that?
But you're talking about. That's why I mentioned the team who historically had it. I'm talking about the Celtics. I mean, I seem like the Celtics who historically had it. You take them out, and now that those people who've been generating from the playoffs, now all of a sudden they're not. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not even thinking about his money. I look at it like this: the NFL we're not going to touch because obviously they're a neutral site when you play the Super Bowl. I think Major League Baseball needs it because it'll help with having World Series in low market teams, especially low market teams like Florida, Texas, San Francisco, Padres, which never go to a World Series. I think that'll put an eyeball on Major League Baseball. So I think that'll be a great idea for them. As far as basketball, hell to the effing no. Because as far as basketball, just taking away home, and I think home and away is more emphasized in basketball than in any other sport. That's why it's like you can't have a neutral site for basketball. To me, it's like if you're in the NBA Finals, going home with that crowd is way more important than having a neutral site. That's why we laugh at the bubble. So because that's just corny to me.
Well, I don't think the playoffs should be in
basketball has to be the basketball. That's what I'm saying. The finals. That's what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the finals. And basketball, yeah, I think that playing basketball in the home away is nothing more important than that. Than playing on a neutral site. Then was like it's like being in the bubble again. That shit is corny. Basketball to me is like you have to have the home and away. Baseball needs it because home and away is not really much of a. I don't see the crowd into it like it is in basketball. And two, I think baseball needs it because of the publicity.
Keep in mind the home for baseball field advantage is not the crowd. It's more you get the last licks.
The rules. Okay, but then you could do that. You could do that. You could set rules for that, saying who has that best record.
I get what you're saying, and I understand. But me, I just feel like neutral sites, since all the leagues all share revenue in playoffs.
I'm not looking at his money. I don't care about the money.
Like, to your point.
Oh, you want to talk about money?
The outside communities. What about, like, let's say,
Got the plus for
Let's
that.
say Atlanta never goes to the NBA Finals.
Right.
You got
They like,
generate
for example,
and then plus you're getting years ahead to prepare for the event.
For example, for the Brooklyn Nets, right? Not in the playoffs. I'm around that area all the time. I can tell people I know what it's like when it's in the playoffs. I don't know what it's like when it's not. They've been out the playoffs for so long. It's always going to be like this, right? You're used to it. You're not used to. You know what I'm saying? You don't get playoff revenue. You get revenue from somewhere else. A team who's always in the playoffs, you take that and send them to a neutral site. They lose all that because they were used to this playoff revenue. And then you talk about what Hype Man said. That's a good point. You play all season long for the home field advantage. You play so you can get home court advantage.
I didn't look at it that way. I'm just saying I'm looking at it as in basketball alone, home and away is way different than any other sport. Having that advantage of being the away team and having the away,
that's why teams play.
The environment is different. That's not what I'm playing for. I'm just saying the environment of it in basketball is way different than it is. Football is obvious. Football is a neutral site. No matter who wins the NFC East and win, it's a neutral site. There is no best record goes to their home game. It's a neutral site every year. In baseball, I say they need it for the publicity. Let's say there's no Vegas team and there's no baseball Vegas.
Nothing.
But what if you have a World Series in Vegas?
Yeah.
It's not about the money. I ain't looking at the money. I'm looking at it as you put eyeballs. Now the whole world, besides people watching, for example, let's say it's Toronto, two teams that nobody cares for in Major League Baseball. The environment is different. And basketball, home and away is that crowd.
In November.
That's why I say.
Oh no, let me get back to your point. Like World Series, you're playing in November, so you will want ideologically to have it in the dome. Me personally.
That too.
So
I agree.
Baseball, totally 100%.
I 100% agree. Yeah.
And even though we got the different ways to get there, we're there. But I think we're going to separate on the other sports. But
do you think basketball was
no, hell no.
I think you
hell no.
Generate more. I think.
But that's what that's what the NBA Cup thing.
I'm not looking at his money because they're going to make their money regardless.
That goes to Vegas.
NBA makes their money regardless. It's just that in basketball, you just don't take away the law of going home and having the away. There is no home and away. There's just two teams playing on a neutral site, so there's no home. In basketball, it has to be a home and away. It's different than it is in any other sport. In sport, I don't care who's home and away. I know the rules apply, but in basketball, there's a difference. Why do you think people crush the bubble? We don't care about because there's no crowd. Who is home? Who is away? The pressure of Game 7, you at the free throw line. You the away team. You have the pressure of the away crowd, and you're like, and palms are sweaty, and you're there like, I gotta hit this free throw. Like that pressure atmosphere there's nothing that beats that. If you take that away, that's gonna be boring in basketball. That's why the bubble was boring.
Let us know what you guys think.
It's really like the bubble. That's one thing we got.
That's a great example.
That's all the time we got for today. And guys, tell them where they can find you.
Hi, man. _OV. You can find me everywhere on social media, baby, with that name.
Black Obi-Wan only on Twitter.
Remember to stay up and forever. Peace. Yo, peace and blessings. Thank you for watching Up and Level. This is your boy Fabito. If you like this show, you like the sports edition, like, comment, subscribe, get involved. Peace.